going to be even things like the Rakan now left through. I don't know if they're worried about maybe On getting his hands on that, Elk and On being able to play out through that bot lane, or if they just go back to old reliable comfort in something like a Gragas.
Well, as you said, 369, we're talking about this pick quite a lot in the series, but it never came through. This time around, 369 is going to flaunt it. First pick Gragas. Lyric, we can also say that this is a flex. It's not only 369 on the team that's played it, Kanavi's played it as well, and Knight has played it. So triple flex for JDG to open.
You know, the best part is 369 is also the only one on this roster who's lost with it this split. He only lost once. Yeah? He's 4 out of 5, but both Kanavi and Knight undefeated on Gragas so far. 3 games for Kanavi, 2 games for Knight, but there it is, right? Not banning away the Rakan. Now sets up for BLG to potentially go towards this duo. Looks like they might instead prioritize jungle first before looking towards that support option on 3. So might give JDG the ability to look to take that away if they so choose. But we'll see where they want to head. Because again, Wukong really being the highest priority jungle left open. They do lock it in. And now for JDG, where they respond, you really expect them to go towards something bot here. Honestly, even if they went full bot lane and just saved that Gragas as a flex going into the second rotation.
It's worth taking away the Rakan, right, Lyric? Like, if we're talking about one part of bot, worth taking away from BLG, surely.
Yeah, again, I think just seeing them outright pick their bot lane here would be good, but instead, no. They're just going to show that this Gragas is going to go towards the soul lane. You would expect it to be top, in my opinion, because I don't know what damage profile they can really fill this out with if they sent this into the mid lane and gave something over to 369. So, Yone already shown, Jayce already shown. I think both would work incredibly well with the Sejuani.
Yeah. Okay, so you get melee coming through here from JDG, but their bot side, Lyric, has been foregone. Now, BLG, are they going to do the same thing? And they're just going to say, well, we don't really put that much value in the Rakan, which is On's best champion, and set up something mid to counter Knight here, to counter the team play, Lyric. I guess BLG put more faith in that. Again, they muck around. They use their time wisely here in the LPL.
They're mucking around too much. I don't like this. Lock it in. I was going to say, if they do, it would just show how much more they are respecting Knight than saying, hey, we need to carry through bot lane, because you hit on it. It's On's best champion. If you've been watching On throughout all these years, it's been his comfort even when it is not in the meta. BLG have just first rotation Xayah Rakan numerous times throughout this split, and it looks like they're just going to end up defaulting with that one. So we're going to see for JDG angling to play heavily around mid-jungle, in my opinion. Like, you want to see Kanavi linking up with Knight and making sure that they can get stuff done. So now it's going to be about how BLG can really work around this. If they're going to just opt into maybe taking some things that can look to outrange and try to dissuade some of these engages coming through, but I don't know. Yagao has played a lot of champions himself this split, things like the Talia, which again can potentially look to play out through that, or if he even wanted to go into something more aggressive, like a Syndra coming online for him. But just so much engage threat already built up by JDG.
He's got things like the veigar as well, Lyric. Just to mention that.
True.
Both Yagao and Knight have played a little bit of it this split, so it's nice to see that as a potential option. I need to correct myself. Knight, of course, hasn't, but I know in the past he has. I guess he's more of the Ahri, the Jayce, the Syndra player. But Yagao might have that as an option unless JDG take it away. Now, Gwen already taken. There's the Annie in reverse. But now do they just go mid, counter top pick, Lyric? Like, what is the flavor?
You know, since they're already, they're already showing both soul lanes, right? So it really doesn't matter which way you go too much. But I don't know what Bin even has that he can pick into the Gragas, considering that, you know, the Nar's taken away. Jack's typically not a champion you pick into the Gragas with the lane matchup that it has. Kennen being banned by themselves. Looks like they are going to go with the veigar here, so that's a great call out by you. Again, wanting to play out, being able to zone them away, being able to try to outrange them a little bit, buy space for Elk to be able to take over and really dissuade the engages coming through for JDG.
I tell you what, if we ever retire from casting, you know, one of us open up an organization, the other can be a coach, or we can both be coaches. Call it Team Monkey, right? Any player on our team would be privileged.
Look,
to be part of our
retired, so you're the coach, and I'll be the manager. I'll go get the food and the waters.
Okay, well, that's cool. I kind of wanted that job. I don't want the pressure of being a coach, getting blamed, having to apologize to an audience. No way. However, as we're going back into pick ban before I get fired from another job, we get Tahm Kench. for the first time in a little while. And for BLG, now my biggest question is, what does Bin take up topside? Because Lyric, you said for the Jax, it's a hard matchup with the Gragas. But Bin's Fiora, the only person ever to get a pentakill in a Worlds final? Okay, no, he goes,
No,
I'll just take the Jax anyway.
Yeah, he just defaults back to comfort. And like we said, I mean, for Gragas, a lot of easy ways to play around this matchup with the belly mop, being able to get in there if the counter-strike comes out, be able to get away, having the range to be able to play out with that Q, and even just the W in terms of how annoying that could be to play out with in terms of the resist, and then like the passive coming on through with your healing. So we're going to see what Bin's able to do, because Bin has just been the better top laner in this series so far. But JDG opting into playing full-on poke with the Jayce and the Varus. You have the peel coming out from the Gragas and top side. You have the safety with the Tahm Kench being there right next to both of them. So it seems like that was what their pivot was off of the veigar pick coming out. So now it's actually going to be up to be
waiting for a spot in semi-finals. Semis, as Lyric said earlier in the broadcast, is a guarantee of top 3. It's also one step closer to going to MSI, and Bin just said before, or Yagao, one of the blokes said, they think they're going to get to MSI. They believe they are. That belief got them a Game 2 win, got them a Game 1 lead. That was fought back by JDG, but gave them hope running into this game as the 5th seed versus JDG out number 1.
It was Yagao who said that right after saying he hopes not to be a noob today. Funnily enough, is
true. Knight
gonna actually flash his former friend.
Yagao gonna get a couple of stacks of the evil and gets himself a little bit of damage followed up as well. So nice little start here. Knight doesn't burn any summoners, but he is just gonna have to back and walk the lane with a big old question mark, because Missing might be caught out as well here. On an Elk running them down at level 1. Ruler doesn't flash away. But remember, what CC do you have here? Ignite goes down. They just want the damage. Elk has the flash, and will he burn it? I guess the answer is no, as it is simply an Ignite that gives them a bit of lane pressure here with a good start for BLG.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. Lane pressure going to be able to come out from this. Having the HP advantage, also having Ruler burn his potion.
Again.
So they're going to play very defensively.
Missing has to flash. Missing has to flash. Missing has to flash. Missing has to flash. It's match. Oh, the heal out. Really good tongue latch, it seems, as Elk survives as well. He's poked on the back end, not able to heal up thanks to the healing stop of Rule's Hail of Arrows. But Lyric already, bot is flavorful.
And BLG, I mean, just going a little bit too hot in terms of following the flash with Elk's own, because had you gotten that, I mean, your HP's looking good. That's a huge win for you, but they've been able to equalize.
Okay, again, good Hail of Arrows from Ruler. Elk now in a dangerous position. He's got Cleanse available, on has Flash, but Flash and Ignite available. Lyric. Ignite is a scary prospect, especially with the damage from Tahm Kench.
Yeah, again, I really feel like BLG just over-aggressing just a little bit threw away the huge advantage that they had in this lane. Still going to be fine, right? Both bot lanes chunked low, but no flash on your AD carry is going to be a lot more scary than no flash on Missing. Assuming that you could end up trading if both jungles make their way down here, which we can see on the minimap. Both Shun and Kanavi are on this side of the rift.
Just a quick nod to the win rates there. Yagao's 5-0 on this champion as well. So,
but my question is, what outweighs 5-0 on Veigar or 3-7 on Wukong?
Oh, that's rough, because everyone plays Wukong, but not everyone plays Veigar. Well, maybe that makes it worse. I don't know. Actually, maybe that makes it a little bit worse. It's a good question, though. And as you said, Shun hasn't had the most success with this champion so far. Found him.
Oh, recalls end up getting canceled. So now, Ruler Missing and be able to take advantage of the fact that they have those nice health bars to be able to punish. At least get this wave pushed out as Elk and On just look like they're going to back off for now. And for JDG, we can see them hanging around bots, where it's actually BLG looking to get the head start on the scuttle.
I'm going to get tagged out a bit here by Kanavi. Knight's coming in as well onto Shun. Smite goes down, and I believe Shun does pick up the scuttle crab. Oh, no, excuse me, that was Kanavi that picked it up in the end as well. So nice little steal from under the hands of Shun.
Great job by him, making sure his bot lane safe. Now we're going to see who heads up towards top side. Looks like Shun going to have the first track on that one to make sure that he's able to at least get one of the scuttle crabs that's on the rift. And not seeing too much action out of this one in an early game this time around, right? For BLG, I think it makes sense. I mean, you have a Veigar in the mid lane. You have Jax up in top side who's getting neutralized by the Gragas coming out from JDG. Maybe BLG, you want to try and put a stop to that now.
He's going invisible, 369. He's got a body slam. He has to flash away, though. Counter-Strike doesn't connect. Just a little bit too early, but the damage should still be there. 369 has no way of getting out of this. Bin won't get the kill, but Shun will. But Lyric, it's a familiar feeling for 369.
And the wave was pushing into Bin. Looks like just trying to help that one out, get the trades off. But sadly, Shun was here first because Kanavi, hanging around towards that bot side a little bit longer, going for his reset, gave Shun the window after getting scuttled to just find the gank opportunity.
Again, 369 is just not having a great time in the laning phase, whether it's Bin solo or Shun, as you said, getting there first. But, I mean, let's be real. Kanavi pays more attention to camps, as it seems, as he's once again invading and getting the edge on Shun's top side while he does Krugs. Actually, Knight's going to come through as well.
369 actually going to get some love. Like you said, we haven't been seeing it from Kanavi in this series, but with even Knight here, we'll see if they can find something.
Shun in a bit of danger. Bin's back gets cancelled. 369 with the barrel roll, and all it takes is one more bit of poke under turret. Shun now in a bit of trouble as well. Bin going to deal with the wave, but Yagao's coming through. Gets a nice little stun here, but that Veigar doesn't have the explosion of an ulti. 369 ready for a body slam. It's barreled out, rather with a roll that comes through. 369 ain't able to hit his target. Yagao has just saved the day. Knight doesn't hit the poke. Bin's still backing. He's going to get away. Lyric, that's what friends are for.
I'm just happy that JDG didn't over-aggress. Because I thought in this thing, I'm like, JDG's going to go for it. JDG are going to go for the dive. Maybe that, you know, they get the kill on Bin probably, but many of them would have gone down for it. So in the end, actually not backing off. Look at the mini-map. They're still there.
Said, over-aggress Lyric. I'm in a bit of danger here. Promo burst is available. 369 running in. He's new. Explosive cast though before he died was legendary, but Yagao gets the flush. Permafrost available onto Bin. The poke good. Knight needs to finish off the blow, but again, under turret, they stay safe and clearing out the wave. Knight just can't go any further. Lyric, what were you just saying? As, hang on.
They just couldn't resist.
I gotta hold on there. Bot almost evolving as well, but you're right, they couldn't.
No, JDG, I mean, they invested so much time into looking for the play. They felt like they had to commit to try and get something on top side. Instead, end up giving over a kill to BLG. But bot lane, still very tense. Knockup comes on through.
Not going to get too much from
Not
the
going to turn
feathers
into
flying
anything,
back in. Please.
Look at the junglers. Both are on the side of the map right now. Still, not really close to ultis coming online for them. Kanavi just hitting 5 a little bit ago. Shun now just hitting it as well. But I feel like that's really going to be the point where bot lane could explode. But we're going to see here what happens. I mean, waiting around, waiting for someone to come in, getting the knockback into the Veigar, but the cage from Yagao just preventing the Sejuani from getting involved, really being the difference maker in what leads to a kill not coming out. And sure, flashes have to be blown, but they still escape.
They do indeed, and Yagao picks up a kill from the top side skirmish. Knight spends all that time, Lyric, so that it's not like he got anything mid. The wave, I believe maybe one crashed against Yagao, but that's it. BLG are ahead again by 1,000 gold in the early game. Great ward, by the way, that was just placed by On, it looks like. Or at least some other member of the community that is BLG, but Lyric, they start the game off the same way they have in the previous two, which has ultimately led them to these really powerful 20 minutes of opening onto Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Right now, it is stuck on Bin standing outside of Rift Herald, so you're gonna have to keep me informed with what's going on.
Okay, so Kanavi's doing red buff right now. There's a ward, you know, on the brush. It's like doing League of Legends radio. You know, on the brush that is the left side of red, on you know, blue side. You know what I'm talking about, right? That ward there that spots out. You don't normally go through that brush unless you're looking for it. There's a ward there. It's spotting out Kanavi. He gets red buff. He's then backing. He's pathing to top side. There were trades on bot. Mid is hitting minions. Yagao presses W. It comes from the sky. You know, nice little particle. Good dodge. Yagao dodges away from Knight. What else would you like to know? Explosive cast was used top.
Well, I'll let you know what I see right now. I see 3 feathers on the ground from Xayah just sitting there. Both bot lanes. Oh, we're back. I see.
Okay.
369. We're gone again.
Nice. Okay, you're gone again. Yagao's hitting a ward. Control ward, in fact, as well, Lyric, so you know how much gold that is. And Kanavi's trying to come mid, but Shun's already there. Are you still frozen?
No, so we've moved past the slideshow. We're gonna see how long it lasts because now I want to see what happens around this Herald, the bot lane.
Oh, you are definitely up to date, aren't you? There's the quickness coming through from On. He's hit level 6, and onto Ruler. The feathers do fly. The root comes down. Elk is going to pop the ulti, but saved away by missing. Ruler comes out with a massive shield, but BLG's 2v2 Lyric continues in yet another game to trump Ruler and missing.
Yeah, doing great. Going to force him out of lane, deny gold, deny experience, get complete vision control of the side of the map. So it's going to be up to JDG to try to find something on top side. But you can see BLG, they want to look for something as well. Shun and Yagao making their way over first. JDG theoretically could bring their bot lane first, but they just want to fight right away.
Bonefrost's going to come through onto Yagao. He's in a bit of damage, but Primordial Burst does some return onto Kanavi, who's burning down. Yagao's out of mana, though. He's got no flash either. He is in the middle of no man's land. Ben, help me, brother. Knight not going to get the shock blast down as Kanavi wants to stay out of the fight. The 369 ready to go in, but Ben ready to take on the world. Grandmasters might come through, but maybe over ambitious. 369 to clear it up. Yagao just not going to die. It's only a serrated Dirk from Knight, so they survive, but they will look to be given over the Herald over to JDG.
No, JDG, they have to back off. And ultimately, that was a 1-for-1. Missing died at the same time in the bot lane to Elk and On.
Oh, wow, they do.
So JDG not even walking away with too much more. It looks like more summoners burned by the side of BLG, but that'll be it. Is missing. Just hovering around and looking like wanting to walk up, see what's going on. Ends up getting knocked out. Knocked up, and then Elk, I guess, is going to end up knocking him out, making sure that they find something for themselves. We're going to see the replay of what happened here in topside. Just the value you're getting out of Sejuani and the Jayce. Great ult by Kanavi is really the difference maker in what leads to Knight being able to find his kill.
As you said, I mean, I thought JDG would just stick on the Herald, but they didn't. They backed away. Kanavi was too low. It was a good find from you, but Herald's starting again. So we can do this again, and Primordial Burst is almost available for Yagao again. So, wondering if BLG Lyric decide to opt into this fight, because it's looking a little bit frisky here as, hang on, Ruler, Chains Corruption comes through in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, with damage here onto Shun, his poke will connect as well, and Shun unable to pull off anything. He didn't even have Cyclone, so I guess he just wanted the flash.
Kanavi has ult. BLG need to be careful.
Gets it onto Yagao. He has flash as well. Missing there. Quickness saves his life. Yagao has to flash away anyway. Under the turret, he won't be able to do too much more as BLG playing it fine in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Elk versus Ruler continues to be Elk's favored.
Yeah, going to see a lot of trading up in topside as well as 369. After not connecting with the E, realizes he has to throw the ult and make sure that Bin doesn't just run him down.
But Bin has ulti himself. I mean, onto 369. A belly pop is all he can do at the moment with no explosive cast. Lyric, this has gone a lot better for 369 in the past with his Gragas, but Bin is trailing on CS by about 10, right? It's not the worst matchup in the world for him at the moment.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, it's not like the Jax loses out too heavily. It's really just you don't have that same kill pressure there. Gragas has a lot of ways to just disengage, dissuade any plays coming out from topside than what he's able to give to a team fight with both engage and disengage options. But what we need to look at now is for this Dragon. Because one thing that's big for JDG is Knight. Knight already being on the Eclipse, so being the first one on the map to make his way towards that Mythic and start trying to put out some damage. But it might not matter. BLG might just finesse this Dragon out right from under them.
It is on a ward, though, and Yagao is looking for them to come in. Kanavi caught on the event horizon. There's the engage, the quickness use in the backline. Bin gonna get his Counter-Strike off as Dragon goes down. BLG pick it up. They don't lose anyone, and JDG unable to find anything in. Lyric, double Dragon start here. BLG still in the lead.
The value of the veigar pick that you highlighted as to what we should expect to come out from Yagao.
Thank you.
Again, just putting down the cage. They can't walk forward, and just makes it incredibly hard for JDG to look for any contests. Especially when you consider the fact that, right, Elk and On have been the ones getting ahead in the bot lane. They've been the ones taking plates, and that Ruler isn't getting accelerated at the same pace that Elk is on the opposite side.
That ward's still there. Just a pause. That ward is still there. Whoever put that down, it's either Shun or On. The value that control ward is getting is immense as BLG try to make a play off mid Lyric, trying to utilize this timing. Again, Kanavi is on a ward. BLG have eyes in the back of their head just because of this smart little pathing that they've pulled into the bottom side jungle for the whole entirety of this game.
Yeah. I mean, BLG right now, they got the first edition print of the Magic card, and they're just vibing, waiting to sell it years down the line.
True. With a lot of money. Like the LPL player cards. I got the Shy. Wait, did I? Yes, I did. I think I got the Shy. Or I got Wookie. I got one.
You know, funnily enough, I have Yagao.
Oh. That might be worth a little bit more.
Yeah.
Imagine if they get MSI, that'd be worth a lot.
So what you're saying now is I'm committed. I'm biased. I need BLG not only to win LPL playoffs, but to win MSI, Summer, and Worlds. And then I profit big money. Don't care if anyone else profits big money. It's about me profiting big money.
Yeah, you sell that on eBay. We'll sell it to our audience. Who knows? Whoever wants it. There's a great market for you. Apart from you getting sent for, I don't know if that violates anything.
Get me to 100,000 followers right now, and the card is yours. Easy deal, audience. Easy deal.
Okay, well, no offense, but you are a long way off, as am I, so it's going to be a while before you sell that card, maybe the year 2060. Again, no offense. I say no offense, it doesn't mean any honors.
That was pretty offensive.
I had to. I just had to. You set me up to spike you down. I just had no other choice. BLG.
It's a nice change in dynamic as Kanavi.
Might be caught out, actually. Here's BLG. Bin comes through. Ulti doesn't connect, though, as Shun now looking for Knight. Double Cyclone comes through. 369 over the wall. He's got a flash. He's got a barrel. And Explosive Cast comes through a little bit late. But they've already picked up Shun. So the trade for that bottom lane turret is Shun's life. Another kill going over tonight on this Jayce, who is getting pretty strong pretty fast.
And now he's going to need to be the difference maker, right? He's the one getting a lot of the gold injected him on the side of JDG. And BLG, I mean, they're slightly ahead, but they're up 2 Drakes as well. They're getting the scaling on their side for later on. We can see Elk now already on his Mythic, even close to making it towards that second item. Is we're going to see a replay of how all this went down, because Kanavi wanting to counter jungle. Look at the minimap. Both 369 and Knight are already on their way over, so Kanavi feels confident looking for this. But Bin committing the flash is what made it look a little bit dicey. But the exchange happens for so long with Shun over committing a little bit that it buys time for 369 to make his way to the fight. Even a nice guy, you know, gets another round of drinks for BLG.
Hey, for the boys. Yeah, look, it's good to see 369 have impact in this game. Again, it's been pretty quiet. He's been farming topside quite well while Bin's been moving around the map, but it's his first interaction with enemy team where you got a kill, or rather an assist. Interesting to say that JDG are now back up to even gold and Lyric. I want to talk team win cons again, because range seems to be very valuable for JDG, who are now with the 2-item Jayce, 1-item Varus, who isn't going poke Varus, but still has a lot of damage in his kit. I want to talk about how JDG approach this dragon, because it is going to be sole point again that BLG is going to try and force.
Shun now going to look for the angle. But yeah, I mean, kind of hitting on win cons and what we're looking at, right? Ruler going that on hit build, which is something we didn't really talk about coming into the game, because we theorized that they were going to play out from a range and fight. So maybe just feeling like, hey, BLG have such solid engage tools. We're going to have to play it a bit closer. We're going to have some DPS online to be able to take this in the long haul. So I think right now what JDG are doing are pretty good, playing around this top side where 369 has pressure, linking up as a group, and start making your way over to that Herald. The question will be if BLG look to contest, because they do have all their ultis online. Flash is also burned by 369, and Kanavi means that, you know, not as much potential threat coming out that you have to worry about. Oof.
Well, the poke still lands, still hurts at the very least. As you mentioned, those summoners down on as he goes on in. That's ambitious. He's got his flash, but no one's there. 369 even getting the first move. Shun is going to be explosive cast. Cyclone helps him out for a little bit, but he has to re-engage. He has no way out. A big mistake by BLG, and JDG are there to punish.
And it's really tragic, right? Because we've been highlighting On is at a stellar split. Probably the best split like in On's career so far. I'm still a very new player, but he used to just be known for moments like this, where we'll just kind of randomly go in, give over a kill to the enemy team. And seeing that once again, I think thinking you just get out easily with the Z, but not going to be able to do so is Yagao. Can he steal it?
Very ambitious here. Oh, close, okay, at the very least. Kanavi does smite and gets away the dragon. Third one taken. And Lyric, it's not so much deja vu this time. This time it's a new experience, which is that BLG, they don't have full control in the early game. The gold lead never grew above about 1,000. This time around, as you were saying, what can BLG do from a deficit this early on? Because both Game 1 and Game 2 have been so far in their control early that have given them a big chance.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. We're going to see here. This is definitely not what you do. Send the Rakan in by himself and then give room to engage. It's one of the reasons why typically when you do have a Rakan going in, right, you're kind of syncing up. Like you're playing a different angle from the fight than whatever your other engage option would be, because Rakan, usually not a solo engager. It's like, you know, Wukong will be going in from the front and Rakan jumps in from the side, kind of covering these multiple angles. It's also one of the reasons why Rakan is one of the only supports you typically see come off on flanks. Very squishy champion. As we see right there, right? You go in by yourself, you do just get blown up. 369, though. Could potentially get blown up himself.
This thing trying to predict this. On goes over the wall, the grand entrance. Now, Bin waiting here. They're going to try and make this play happen. Teleport's coming through as well. 3 members to commit. Quickness being utilized. 369 goes golden. Quickness is about to time out, but they get the edge of it as Event Horizon and the Primordial burst. One more auto. Bin gets it. And even Shun comes down in the nick of time. But as you said, Lyric, JDG say, well, we can just pull the Baron.
And they've no TPs. Yagao TP the bot. Bin doesn't have a TP. He's showing bot. This looks like it'll just be JDG's. We're going to see if Shun can get here in time.
Missing trying to zone out control.
Oh, they got it.
2K, 1K, it's gone. BLG committing everything in the kitchen sink, as you said. And Shun can't get there in time. That's just a big power play by JDG.
Great read by them to realize, hey, so much committed down towards that bot side. We have enough damage to take this Baron quickly. And now JDG at a point where they can really start utilizing this comp, right? Baroned up minions, you're going to have pushing power. You're going to get all the control of vision, which means you're going to be able to play forward and start laying down these accelerated shock blasts and really just sieging down these turrets.
Yeah, and that Baron's going to do so much. Such a smart move from JDG as BLG now try to find an angle. Kanavi's walking into dead air as Cyclone's there. The ulti immediately cleansed by Elk, but they've got nothing left. The chain corruption hits on the back end as well. 369! He loses the lane, but wait, no, never mind. He's dead again. BLG with 3 members left in this choke. Bin now on the outer fold as Event Horizon zones off. Ruler's already used the chains of corruption. He's got Ghost popping. 369, I thought that was legendary, Lyric, but he got absolutely juiced.
Remember, he's an AP Gragas. If he goes in like that by himself, he is just as susceptible as On is to just getting blown up. Still, JDG going to be able to use this Baron to find some pressure, but Bin going to try and counteract it, realizing that they really can't stop JDG's push, so Bin going to try and answer with turret and mid.
Well, at the very least, there's something. Teleport going to be used, though, and that's 369 coming back, or rather, Knight, excuse me. He's the one who teleported back to mid lane to save that mid turret. So, in the end, JDG still make it a trade, but able to open up the map a little bit more. Lyric, that was a close encounter. I'm kind of just surprised with how hilariously 369 went down. This looks so good.
I mean, it looks a bit rough to start, right? Because, again, ideally you want Kanavi there to take that damage and to really be able to complete that pincer movement. But with Kanavi so far back, 369 goes in. Knight's far away trying to put up that poke. It just allows, once those feathers come flying back, Elf having the damage just to lead him. But now Dragon, 1 minute away. This would be soul point for BLG, which they found themselves in time and time again in this series. JDG, though, maybe going to look to find kills before that can happen.
They got 5 members down here, and the rest of BLG aren't here yet. Explosive cast onto Shun. That's the clone. That's the clone. They're under turret. Bin has survived long enough. He flashed away. He gets out. JDG have overextended here. Cyclone comes through. They get the turret, but now Yagao's Event Horizon sends them up. On quickness is massive. And look at Elf go. The feathers fly out. He picks up a double onto 369. Call an ambulance, but not for BLG. Kanavi running after On. He'll get him, but Bin assassinates Knight while Kanavi's last to go. This team, this underdog team, can never be underestimated.
And what is going on in this LPL playoffs? BLG coming in and just taking out big names left and right, taking down a team like RNG in round 2, 3-1, easy fashion, 3-0ing Weibo with people like Xiaohu, the Emperor of Spring, someone who consistently gets to MSI and wins titles, and now potentially gonna, make their way up over JDG. No one could have predicted this.
It was soloing the Dragon after the fact. Lyric, They use so much, and props to Bin
on
here.
The clone.
Unfortunate, really. But Bin surviving.
Everything used on the clone, being able to survive with the counter-strike, dash away just in time, and it allows for the pinch to come from on. You can see here, gets the knock-up, Elk already feeling safe and putting down the damage because the cage was there to dissuade them from being able to run in. And great discipline by Elk to hold on to his ult for a while, making sure it doesn't go down, getting the maximum amount of damage there. And I mean, once Gragas, once Varus are there just isn't a whole lot of damage to contend with the rest of this fight.
Our fifth seed continues to surprise us. Gold is even. They've got Soul Point now. Elk is 5-0-2. The late game insurance, folks. This is how BLG played. He's got the most damage out of any AD carry at 32%. And now they're looking for another pick on Dolphy. Good again, missing. Absorbs Knight. Ace like metal. But at least he gets the mouthful as JDG now looking for a re-engage. BLG are trying to walk out this top lane. Elk even going back to mid, as it looks like the play is short-lived.
I want to highlight that Elk is a full item up above Ruler right now, sitting on 3 in the very quick blades and Bloodthirster in pocket. Ruler only sitting on the Ginsu's in the Immortal Shield Bow. So we're going to get to see how it all started. It was actually Kanavi trying to find his way onto the Rakan, but luckily having that E available did manage to escape. I'm surprised BLG weren't more willing to try to find something there with the power spike that they have on their Xayah, but it seems like realizing, hey, especially without Shun's ultimate and a lot of flashes being down, they're not comfortable at putting themselves at risk.
Ooh, 369. What's happening here? Body Slam doesn't connect. Kanavi coming through, but again, even though he's feeling confident, doesn't want to commit that ulti over the wall. We're continuing to posture here, Lyric. It's just non-stop aggression from the countless engages on both sides.
Yeah, JDG still the ones with map control, trying to maintain control of top side vision right now with all the wards they have down, because Baron is coming up at 30 seconds. They like that they have Knight getting control of bot wave now, can recall, to start bringing your forces up towards that top half of the map. BLG in a bit of a rough place because still Bin and Yagao missing out on teleports. Really means that Bin has to be careful about overcommitting to pushing in that side, or JDG can once again look for some kind of swift Baron play.
A Baron play that put JDG into the lead. Well, Baron's now up for round number 2 here, but BLG have regained some control in River. Throwing out the wards now, JDG's next job, as 369 moving in very aggressively. And Lyric, as you said, Bin, TP's not up and available for about 30 seconds. JDG are pulling the trigger right now.
They're going to go for it. We're going to see if BLG can find it in. Shun does have his ulti online.
They need to slow it down. There's the event horizon. They're just about missing. Oh my god, the explosive cast comes in late as well. Elk pulls the ulti. They're still on Baron though. They're still on Baron though. JDG pull off the Baron. 4 members sit with it for the time being, but Bin's coming for a flank body slam. Going to be ignored. Event horizon flashed out of Bin. Pops the ulti, but he can't follow under the turret. As Shun looks for a little bit more, but JDG again from out under BLG's nose will pull off the Baron as Knight's going to back in time. Elk won't find him, and 4 members still hella worth.
Yeah, great win by JDG to be able to get that, but I'm scared we're quickly getting into a point where BLG just looks so terrifying. If any fights break out, the amount of damage that's going to be coming out from Elk and Yagao is monstrous. And soon we're going to be getting to a point where Bin can really just start hammering away at these side lane turrets. 4-3-6-9 is going to be a lot more about grouping up with the team. And remember, he is AP Gragas. Yep. He's trying to be a big damage threat, potentially burst out someone like Yagao if a fight does break out. It's weird to think. Yagao is 369's former mid laner.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I know. Again, even though 369, you keep getting confused with top esports. They did share some time together, you're right. Just pause quickly, because Missing gets nuked, but then they have to back off.
And like you said, just the timing not there by JDG. Both ults from Ruler and 369 coming out late. Luckily, though, BLG not recommitting fast enough to try to dissuade the play from coming out. I think it would have been great because Shun still had his Cyclone up. No more Chains of Corruption, no more Explosive Cask. Could have been a great way to find something, but respecting the threat from 369 there.
Now double Baron. They're moving towards Dragon Lyric. They've got pressure in these waves as JDG group up as a 4-man unit. Event Horizon does a bit of damage here to 369. Good Dark Matter here as well from Yagao. But now the fight begins. Already you can see Yagao's pumped up close to a K damage. But there's going to be Soul. Needs to do a little bit more than that as Event Horizon continues to zone out. Knight now angles himself on the edge of this river. At 9k Lyric, we face down.
I also want to say Yagao has stopwatch, so even if 369 does find a nice cast,
Quickness, Event Horizon. Oh my god, it's a 3-man on comes in as well. Down with the quickness as Ben jumps onto Ruler. Look at this AD carry trying to fire away, but you notice one thing, that Elk is still alive and dancing. He may be a world champion, but this series, the bottom lane is sniping down JDG.
BLG now get themselves Soul. Surprisingly, gold is still just about even with BLG having double the kills over JDG. But with that, we've seen time and time again in the last 3 fights.
Whoa,
369.
no way, no way. He's just gonna solo out the Gragas. Freaking Elk, man. This AD carry's driving me nuts.
This guy got second on All-Pro team for a reason, actually being placed only under Ruler himself. And BLG, it's why we came saying their roster, a lot of people who were the best player on middling or low-tier teams in the past brought together on this BLG roster, and now making such a great run in this playoff, showing they're a top team. You got to consider them when you're thinking about representatives who are going to get sent to MSI. Really cannot disrespect them. Upgrading their coaching staff recently, bringing in Tahm, and it really feels like everyone firing on all cylinders for this team.
It's such an improvement, and again, Lyric, we'll look at this because team fighting, BLG just so good. Yagao, that was sick.
Yeah, great cage coming through, and then look at how much CC they have, right? Immediately into the quickness we see Shun able to stay on top of Ruler as well, even if Elk is the one who finishes him off. And for the other members of JDG, very cooldown reliant, right? Gragas and Jayce, we're going to see 369 go down here and just really get taken down by the amount of DPS and sustain that he has. But Gragas, I mean, you're waiting on things like your Q and E to come back up before you're out putting more damage. Jayce, I mean, like, you can get into melee range, you know, utilize the W, put off some autos, but it's quite risky. You're opening yourself up to those engages, which is why we saw Knight, after getting, like, the hammer combo off, backing up, playing out with the accelerated shot blasts.
Be caught out there on your screen. 12 out of 15 kill participation, by the way. I know you're talking about JDG's conditions and how they can actually find a recovery in this game, Lyric. And look, gold is still even, pretty much practically about as teleport comes through. I need to hold the thought. Elko is already ulted out. He's looking for Kanavi, though. And while that TP from 369 looked great, BLG just pulled the trigger on the fight. No jungler now for JDG. Our 5th seed annihilating our #1 as 369 runs in to die. Bilibili Gaming, they're going to move to match point.
Yeah, BLG now having everyone alive to just push through the base, and heroics once again from people like Elk going the distance.
The miracle run at main was started from round #1, but round 2 they beat RNG, they beat Weibo Gaming. Now against Jing Dong, who's the one ringing the doorbell for match point?
I'm telling you, this playoffs has been the craziest since I have been in the LPL. And it's not like any of these were huge, glaring upsets that are coming through, right? All of our teams coming to playoffs, I'd say we're relatively close, barring, you know, some of those first-round matchups. But, like, you didn't expect BLG to just dumpster RNG like that. You could have expected them to win. That, for sure. But I think a lot of people expected RNG to power up a little bit when it came to playoffs. Weibo, you know, a team that was hot or cold. Like, sure, they were a team who really could get smashed by anyone. Still, you thought coming into playoffs, people like Xiao, people like Crisp, were going to be able to deliver, and BLG just shutting them out as well. And now, I mean, this very realistically could have been a 3-0. You think back to game 1 when BLG had the 5K gold lead on JD Gaming. It's like, what is going on? What is this playoffs?
I don't understand how BLG have just come out of the woodwork and been this good. Again, this is preseason BLG where it all just kind of clicked together. They found themselves in the league, and all I can say, Lyric, is they're one step away from not only getting to semifinals, but their furthest placing ever in the LPL. Their best split ever in the LPL. Like, this is BLG's year, apparently, or at least their split, because regardless, even if this goes to a game 5 and let's say JDG win it out, BLG have shown us here today that they're a team that aren't worth trifling with, and they have another chance in the double elimination bracket as well. So whoever loses out of OG and EDG, still, you look at this and go, oh, crap, this seems good.
I really want to like double down on what you just said, right? They're like, whoever loses this, they're not out of playoffs, because
Yep.
I want to remind people that sometimes, I mean, things just happen, right? Not to discredit BLG, especially they end up going on to win, because again, their run, they've just been dominant. Like,
Yep.
they really can just end up taking this out of nowhere. But you think back to, like, I think it was summer of last year, maybe the year before, where WE took down EDG, and then EDG came back from the lower bracket. They were able to beat WE the second time. Like, again, if JDG lose or BLG lose, we go to the distance. Like, both of these teams will have a chance to bounce back in that losers bracket. But today, JDG, they need to change something. They need to find something to be able to come out ahead. Their early game, like, they didn't fall as far behind in gold. Actually, they had a gold lead, I believe, for most of that early game. Nope, looks like they actually brought it back in the mid game, but still, right? They weren't falling like massively behind like they did in those first two games. 369 was going even in lane. Knight was up in lane. It was really only Ruler missing, who were the ones falling behind. But once things started to go awry, and Yagao's cages especially were really hindering them in setting up Elk to just put out such tremendous damage in these fights.
I just cannot believe. I mean, Elk's damage speaks for itself. I cannot believe it keeps coming down to team fights. And for BLG, their team fighting lyric is just on point. Like, they have quickly become one of my favorites to watch as a team fighting team, because the way they play 5v5s is set up, whether it's a comp like this or game 2 or even game 1 in some of the fights we saw. It's just incredible to watch the coordination between a bunch of players that, yeah, some of them have played together before, but not through extended periods like Knight and 369, for example, or even Kanavi and 369 at this point. Or hell, right? Kanavi missing, who have stuck around on the team. So it is really interesting to see JDG crumble in some of these 5v5s when they're getting out-drafted, out-coordinated, rather, by BLG in the most crucial moments.
It's even more impressive when you consider that BLG are one of the teams who, again, typically don't run a tank in top lane. I mean, the closest that Bin gets to a tank is playing Nard and being Mega Nard, being kind of tanky when he's in that form. So, utilizing it even with things like the Jax, which, again, still solid team fights. We saw numerous counter-strikes that really did have impact in that game, but BLG really are just impressing. And it's nice to see, thinking back to, you know, the likes of 2020 when WE were playing Protect and all in on Jomung, how far he has come now as Elk, and putting a team, you know, like bringing them to the finish line, bringing them the distance against someone like Ruler.
Well, match point now for BLG. It's come this far, a 2-1 start, and we'll have to find out if JDG can take us to the Silver Scrapes or if BLG are just a force